Welcome everyone to another Division 2 video. We are finally here with some playoff casts, and we start off with Division 5 quarterfinals between Bexus and Royal Musketeer, who interesting enough were in the same group, so I'm not really sure how that ended up happening, that they have to play each other again in the quarterfinals. But anyway, so both of these players are relatively new to the tournament scene as far as I can tell. At least I haven't seen them all that much, although Royal Musketeer has been playing a bit as of recently, so he is definitely probably a little bit more experienced than Bexus has, which might be beneficial for him, of course. Now we have Bexus playing 84th on balanced income and Royal Musketeer playing Kessel on Maverick income. Now, before we go to the decks, which we're going to do in a second, one more thing. There are these polls currently regarding how you want to have the talking about deployments. As well, I added another poll about the talking about decks. So you can take a look and vote at them. So as it is looking now, not much is going to change. But what I am gonna do though is I'm finally gonna add timestamps. That should be in that video here, because I always said I'm gonna do it in the next one, then I forget, and I'm really gonna make sure that they are in now, so that at least that those of you who don't like me talking in length about these things can just and are skipping ahead anyway, you can do this more easily now. So that's gonna be coming. But anyway, I think it's time for the decks now. And we are going to start with an oldie but a goodie 84th Gavaria Strelkovaya, a division that has been relatively high up in the tier list for quite a while now. But I think it is not the easiest one to play, if I'm going to be honest. And I don't think it's a balanced division. You have a lot of tabs that do have the depth to go balanced, I think, but the armor tab is just so limited and you can make it really, really rough. Once you run out of armor, pushing becomes incredibly difficult at times. And for this map, to be honest, I'm also not so sure. You have the Soviet CQC, which is good. You have some good things, but I feel like the IS-2s are not the greatest tool on this map specifically. There are, of course, certain areas that you can lock down with those, but other than there's many areas where you need some medium tanks. Let's put it that. We could have, we do have some sniper in a B phase, pretty standard there. Into the tab of those, Gavadia DPs in A phase, and then in B phase you get Saperi Rocks, a nice little hybrid unit, Strafaniki, and then in C phase more Avtos and Gavadia DP. Tank tab, of course you do get the IS-2s, but you only have one card of T-34. He brings in the B phase, he gets 12 of them since he doesn't double vet them. I mean, the IS-2s are definitely going to be an annoyance, but as I said, they can only be in so many areas of the map, and there's only so many areas in the map where they can actually be useful. But yeah, support tab, flamers, then you get the great Soviet 50 mils machine gun KV-8S, which is nice, so that you have a little bit more armor in A phase. This is also bolstered up by something in the T-tab, as we're going to see in a second. Then the SU-152 in B phase without any veterans. Interesting. A T-tab, you get Panzerschrecks, which is great, 45 mil. The SU-76, of course, which helps you with your lack of armor, and it is super efficient, this unit. This will generally upgrade really nicely. It's just an all-round fantastic unit. Then we have some SIS-2s as well in A and B phase. And A tab, we do have the ZSU M17, which is a bit expensive for that purpose, but I think he plans to bring it as anti-infantry tool, which it is great at. As I said, it's just expensive, but it can definitely help against these rough infantry matchups that we can expect against Kessel. And then we have the 37 mils, but only at single lead, not a huge fan of that. Artillery tab, F-22s, mortars, and then of course the Russian 122s, one of the best, in my opinion, guns for counter battery. Brings it with ammo. Interesting choice. Air tab, we do see some air spam planned. You have the Yak-1B, the P3, and then the IL-237. So this, of course, does have the bombs, but it's just an extra. It really is good for being a tank killer, and it might actually be necessary because yeah, I mean, once again, you have limited T-34s. Once you run out of those, your only option is an IS-2 or one of those. But you should probably bring a recon plane if you are using tank busters. I have made that experience very recently as well. It's just not worth having them without any recon plane that can maintain line of sight. And then in C-phase, you do have some more PE3, which should be pretty nice. On the other side, we do have Sperrverband Kessel, a nice division that can absolutely shred at CQC range. Now, it will definitely struggle at 2k. against the IS2. So if Bexus actually managed to lock down some areas with those, it's going to be difficult for Royal Musketeer. It's going to have to spend a lot of time and resources to get rid of those. Then again, in CQC fights, this division can actually slap quite hard. The Brandenburger Pionier should generally win against the Soviet tools. The Brandenburger can actually deal with them nicely as well. The commander trait definitely helps there. And I mean, there's a lot of those in Bex's deck, and the grenade can deal with those. And at range, of course, it's no match. The Panzergrenz and Brandenburg will absolutely shred. Now, but yeah, let's go through everything. Recon tab, we do have the Brandenburger Aufklär, which is nice, double radio, nothing to complain there. Hadaror Yaror, which is nice also, because you have good availability and they're actually chunky, so they might survive a little bit, so your recon doesn't die super easily, but no veterancy. That's the sad part of it. 3 tab, the Hungarian leader, which you get 4 of. You don't necessarily need the light armored vehicle that you get with the Pentagon leader this matchup. Then here's Kelly, which is really not that good. This is basically this hardened target with dash, but without the rated trade. So it's relatively useless for 25 points at least. But you get 18 a card, so there's value in that. Definitely, if you want to take them. Then we have some Bronco Pioneer, which is of course going to be absolutely shredding everything. I think that 84th has to offer in CQC. Then Panzergrenz and of course the mighty Brandenburger, which will just absolutely shred at range. And CQC range, you will probably only lose against the Sturmoviki Rocks, otherwise it should generally dominate all the units at both ranges. More leader, which is definitely nice. Royal Musketeer values leadership, love to see that. And then just some more Panzergrenz and Brandenburgers for B and C phase. Although it's odd that it takes 2 cards of Panzergrenz in B phase, I don't think you need 2 of them. Maybe you could put one in C, or you don't need that because of the Brandenburg. We could also just take more CQC, to be honest. Tank tab, all just Stux, but you get Stück 4, which is cool to have. Support brings the CD33 Sendor. Now, the AT rifles can deal with that, but on the other hand, there's not really any light armor in 84, so it will be annoying to react to those quickly if the AT rifles can't take care of it in time. And then otherwise, machine gun IG-18 ammo Stu 42 only in B phase. I think if you go Maverick, you can 100% take it in A phase. So to make sure that you get 4 in B, something that in my opinion you might want to do with balance sometimes, but otherwise I think having those essential tools in A phase is just way better. AT tab, 40 mil Marder, Panzer X only in B phase, but in this matchup you might get away with it. Stück 3 F8, so it's cool because the Marder and Stück 3 F8 gives you some cheap options as well. And a pack 40, AA tab, nice as well with the SKS Set 1 and the Bofors, and then you get some 88s to get at least a little bit of 2k AT, even though it won't do it against the IS2. Artillery tab, 81 mil more than brings a 75 mil, which to be honest, the one without radio is not that good, but yeah, I guess you can spam them out. And then some air spam with some Focke-Wulfs and J88s. And here we are again. So let's look at the deployment. So Brest West is a little bit of an unfair map. In terms of flags that are grabbable, it's actually okay. The problem is blue side has this hillside here that overlooks all of these, the whole area where you have all these flags, and it just makes it so much easier for blue to contest them. At the same time, red will have to push against that. There's no area where red really has the same advantage. Up here, to some extent, you can contest that for sure, that one flag, but you have to do it to defend it. Blue, sorry. These two maybe, but even those can be fought without having to contest that. These two are just more contestable without having the range than these are for red side, right? So it's just much harder to defend those. And also blue can rush into that one relatively easily early on. So it is a little bit blue-sided, and I think this is actually very important here because Royal Musketeer does definitely have the weaker 2k compared to Bexus. So him ending up on the blue side is massive for him. I think if he were on the other side, he might actually have some major issues in this game. So anyway, let's go to deployment stand south. Very defensive by Royal Musketeer, only some infantry and recon at least. we do see a relatively large deployment by Bexus here, which might be very good. He's going to get this flag for free, might even be able to push up here. The armor is definitely going to be an issue because there's no AT. Come to think of it, there is... Oh, no, there is some AT. Okay. Defensive deployment here, so he doesn't even try to push into that flag, which, truthfully, if you only have slow transport, is not that easy, actually. Also, rather defensive deployments for these flags. This is pretty classical defensive deployment here as well. Now, I'm surprised that Bex doesn't try to push into here, but I guess without any... Oh, he has 50mm mortars. That's going to be a massive game changer here for Bex, of course. But he could definitely try to contest that. It is a classic flag to grab for Red Set, but he only goes defensive in this area here, which is fair. Now, the Royal Musketeer also not pushing aggressively over here. AT to cover this off, although it's short range one, so that's not going to be super good. And then the big push is going to happen right here in the forest, where I think Royal Musketeer will have the advantage, so I guess he's trying to go for that flag right here. We see him putting up some support weapons, not on here, which is interesting. Usually try to cover that off. But yeah, we have a bunch of units here, and then a Stuk up here for support, and Sakela to just hold the ground, and then on Bex's side you also have a massive push here, because of course he wants to contest that. So pretty standard there, and I think with that we can get this whole thing going. So one thing I do want to point out, by the way, or mention, is that there was this suggestion that it would be cool to have a video where some of the well-known players in the community, I mean that especially means the top players, of course, share their favorite division and a deck and explain why they build it that way. So I think the idea is cool. It came from Koenig. So who probably wants to share his deck, but that's okay. So if any of you are watching and interested in participating in that, you can send me a deck of your favorite division and give me a little description of why you build it that specific way. And I would be very happy to receive some of you. I think every top player has earned himself the right to be considered a well-known player in the community. But also, if you're well-known for some other reason, feel free to send me a your deck. You can just message me on Discord with your deck and your explanation. If you want to record yourself talking about your deck, you are free to do so as well, and send that to me. And I'll just compile everything in a video or two if it gets long, but don't know. We have an early plane here and an early flag grab as predicted. It's going after the SG-43. Does he do? Yeah, it has 2 bombs. Does not do the bomb trick though. It would definitely be a good thing here because then you get more value out of it. This is not... You don't need the whole bomb set. Oh no, he does. No, he doesn't. Never mind. I think that would have been a good call here because then he can... I mean, this is not the only problem here, right? So that would actually be useful to have another bomber run going on for something else. I think it was not worth it at all because there is the armor. One of the tanks seems to have died. No, it's still on its way. That makes a lot more sense now. But I think that would have made a lot more sense. But the plane overall is just it was kind of a bad call here, in my opinion, because as I said, the SG-43 was not what was making this push successful on its own. There were other factors too. You have another one right away going after that infantry, or maybe the 50mm mortar. I think it's going after 50mm mortar. Machiki losing against the Brandenburger, not surprised. The Brandenburger Pioneer is also going to be an absolute power. It's not the Brandenburger pushing in. Now, none of these have AT, so the KV-8S here is going to be a bit of an issue. Oh, 50mm goes down, that's massive. That could have done a lot of work here. Now, the Brandenburger Pioneer could technically kill the KV-8S as well. Smoke going down. Royal Musketeer here on top of his micro, but everything here pushed off. That should equal things out with that flag falling to Royal Musketeer. And the Brandenburger here are going to be a massive issue. The grenade can definitely do some damage to the KV-8S as well. It is too close. Oh, might get the surrender. It's not fanatical, right? No. Should get the surrender here. Leader is not within range. I can't see it because of the smoke. Brandenburger here engaging on a D45mm. Yeah, that was deployed a little bit too far forward. So things have equaled out. We have the TV 33 here going down to Kelly here, holding the line. Panzergren being forced off. Bexus could push here. He does not, which is a major mistake. But of course, he doesn't know. Now, if you have massive deployment up here, you could guess, of course. That's something that you always have to keep in mind, guys. Even if you don't know specifically, if you have a massive push somewhere by your opponent, you can relatively safely assume. Also, the front line is now telling me that there's something here, but there's nothing here. So this is where Bexus should probably start pushing. And I don't know what Royal Musketeer wants to do, but it looks like he's trying to push here. I mean, he can grab these flags for free for now. The Gavadi here is getting pinned. And if he can start covering this off with a Stug or something like that, it's going to be difficult for Royal Musketeer to get back, for Bex to get back in. So I think it's very good place for him to push. Looks like Royal Musketeer also realized that there's nothing here, so he can grab that, and that's going to be annoying, because the problem is once you're forced out of this forest bit, it's going to be not so easy to get back in, especially against something like Rössersprung, because now you have to cross the open, and even a Panzergun will be a problem, and we haven't started talking about the Brandenburger just yet. So I think not contesting this was a major mistake. Stug now pushing up close. Panzerschreck is coming in. That could be defensive. The problem is the Stug. Yeah. If it stays up here, it should be safe. Might actually have hill pressure then, though. This UM17 is up here. M40 doing some support. Bexus struggling, and I mean that was to be expected, right? This forest part, the 50mm mortar could have definitely turned things around here, but with that going down, I think this was actually well invested for Wolf, especially if he can continue to provide value. But I do have to say, buying 2 planes early on is a massive investment that can backfire quite a bit. We have yet to see any real AA by Bexus though. The M17 does not count. It's not that good as AA, especially not against I think it's medium resilience. Yeah, medium resilience plane. Going after another SG43. I mean, this is good, right? You have it. You might as well just use. Oh, Yak 1 here might be in danger. No, it is not. Turning in time. Focul is being called off, so the Yak 1 could now do some damage. There's no AA by Royal Musketeer, and getting AA is expensive. Bexus failed to push, unfortunately, and is focusing up north. So this is a very common mistake, and I have made this in countless times in recent games as well. So I know what I'm speaking of. If you get pushed hard somewhere, you might just want to accept that you lose these flags and not contest every flag and push somewhere else. I think this would have been a great opportunity here that unfortunately has been missed by Bexus, because now there's defenses coming in, right? Now it's going to be much harder. Before that, this is not necessarily a long-term hold flag, but you can grab it and build some pressure, make sure that you are not on 15-9. Pushing here would have been the same option. Now, yes, you have to be afraid of AT guns potentially being here because Bexus, of course, can't know that there's none here, but you still have the infantry that can push forward first and support that with your armor and whatnot, right? Now, if the SU-76s in these are fantastic. They are, first of all, hyper efficient against any tanks because they're so cheap and will generally upgrade. They have a good rate of fire, but also they are decent for infantry support too with their HE. Now, they don't have endless amount of HE shells, but it's enough. They can definitely do some damage. ZSU. I love seeing these things. They are just too expensive, but it's so great to see them. No, just keep driving. It can move and shoot. I guess he's afraid of some AT here. The IH-18 could potentially stop that, but I think it would have managed to surrender that Brandenburger. And even a 2-alpha Brandenburger is a force to be reckoned with. We had another one coming in. Oh, down south. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. And I mean, that could start re-grabbing the flag. I would probably just put an infantry squad here, though. Hide that in the forest. Or an AT gun or something like that. I don't know. I mean, truthfully, okay, AT gun maybe not because of the Brandenburg. You don't know where that thing's going to go next. Marder up here, that's definitely going to be able to deal with the KV-8S. Up close, though, it's not that good a fight anymore. This thing has 10 rounds a minute. This thing is 8, and up close it will get penned. So that's a little bit more tricky. Panzergun is coming in. If it gets into Panzerfaust range, it will be a problem, but the KV-8S is a flame tank, so it's not going to be super easy. 45mm coming in to secure this off. This is a good position here. Good forward position for some A-team. Not sure if you want to have a 45mm or if you not just want to invest in this too. Then again, no, actually can't cover off much of this. I think the 45mm here is a good call, actually. Oh, look at all these flags crap. Now, some of this some of this is fixable for sure, but to work that needs a little bit of work. Now this hold here is not super strong, and the Royal Musketeer is not reinforcing it, so Bexus could push back, but of course he doesn't know. And he actually could know, because if you look at the front line, you can kind of see that nothing can be here. But yeah, I mean, she doesn't know if there's a Kelly in here or Brandenburger, so it is a fair assessment. Oh, the Marder just killed the KV-8 here. That's definitely hurtful. That could have definitely done a lot of damage here due to the lack of AT that used to be here. Now the AT is here, of course, but it could still have done some work. Gavadia is in the wrong position to fight the Brandenburger pin here. KV-8S here, pretty much a brick wall, though. I think at that distance it should be able to hold off the Panzergrenadier quite easily. He has to be careful, of course. The 40 mil here is going to be a little bit of an issue. Yak 1 coming in for a... Oh, smoke! To secure the push for the Panzergun. Nice play there, another Yak 1. So, Bexus returning the favor. This is something that I do have to be very critical about, again. Because, so, Royal Musketeers play paid off. So, it was actually okay. That being said, right here is like this is not an immediate. This is of course not good, but the Yak 1 doesn't solve an immediate problem. It also doesn't solve an immediate problem here. Push here is not possible as long as the Marder 2 is in position here, and there's still something in here which you could guess. So, and another plane. So these are massive investments that don't solve any immediate problem. And it's especially important because if you buy planes against Maverick in A phase, you're weakening your front line. Now, he's already under pressure by Maverick, which is not good. He's already lost a lot of tickets against the Maverick in A phase. With B phase coming up right now, this has the potential to be a massive issue in the long run. Now, so you don't want to spend too many points on planes in A phase anyway as a balanced player against Maverick, but and then add to the fact that they don't actually have a big impact on how the flags are changing right now. So that is just a really bad call, in my opinion. Because he needs forces on the ground now. Now, one thing that he has achieved is that the Royal Musketeers now bought SKF Z71, but I feel like since these planes are probably more of a desperation call to be able to deal with everything here, that is actually not that positive now because he can't. He's not going to get to use them anymore. Focke-Wulf does not get the bombs off and is forced off, but it turns the right way, so it will. So it would have survived anyway. It's a single vet Russian 37 mil. Double vet would have been a big issue. This two here, finding a CV-33, but CV-33 gets away, and on CV-33 pushing forward here. The Pack 40 is now moving. Pack 40. The 45 mil is now moving in position. It was out of position, but might missing again. Oh no, I think he fell back a little bit too early. What he should have done probably is just left it there and then moved in with the 45 mil. Still managed to get the kill. Interesting. IG-18 opening up now as well on the Gavadia or on the Sniper. I don't know. So parry rocks now coming in. That's a good spot because if you have to fight at CQC, you fight at CQC. If you have to fight at range, you fight at range. That's of course the beauty of these things. KV has to be careful here, but there we go. Flames go down. Panzergren is pinned. Brandenburger can't do much here. Brandenburger is also not the solution here because that's going to get absolutely shredded by the KV-8S and he can't do anything against that. So remember guys, these Brandenburgers are great, but they can be very much a double-edged sword if you don't use them carefully in situations where they are not needed and also can't do much. Yak 1 coming in, the SEKF Z71 is in position, but the line of sight is not great, so it's actually possible that the Yak 1 is going to get in. The problem is it might die. Is it slightly smoking? No. Another one coming in. Turning in time, yeah, you don't wanna get in there. Both getting out alive though, so that's important. I think because of the positioning of this one, but also this one, this area might still be open for some bombing runs. You have to be careful though, as you might turn into the SKZ-7 one. This one is now repositioning. Yeah, that's a better spot. You have a little bit of lighter line of sight. You have to be careful, but as long as this is held, the SKZ-7 can't do much damage there. We do have an 81mm mortar now opening up on the 45mm. That's been called in a while ago. And we have an 88 up here on the hill as well to cover things off, but it does not have line of sight on anything as of yet. Oh, the 40mm has spotted the KV-8. KV-8 is out of flamethrower range. No. Oh, and it's using the AP shells because the heat has been turned off. But the AP shell, yeah, probably won't pen the KV-8S. Oh, I could have looked again. Oh no, this is the higher value, but this is... Does he notice? No, he does not. Ah, was he? Did he get penned? It looks a little bit damaged, but it's hard to tell because the... Oh, it gets a kill. I mean, it will pen eventually. Saperi Rocks up close should be able to deal with the Brandenburg. It's not the best CQC unit. It's good for being a CQC unit that is also a hybrid unit, and it still, you know, has 4 PPSHs. The SVTs will help, but I know it should not be running. It should engage. It is a flamer. It can force the Brandenburger off. I guess he wanted to bait in for the P3 base, but now he needs to stop running because as soon as he gets in the open, he will get shred. Now is the time to actually fight back. There we go. Unless Royal is doing the ground attack trick, and now it's too close to throw the TNT anyway, probably. Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, it is pinned to... Oh, wow, waste of one Gavadia. Saperi Rocks might be able to finish a job, though. The Brandenburg are so disgusting. And look at how much health it still has. Commander trade just sucks. As ISU 152 got penned once by the Stug, it seems. Very unfortunate. I mean, the Stug can pen it, but at max range, it should not be super likely. That being said, I had a friendly practice game against Noitzi the other day where, oh, there we go, ISU goes down, where an ISU got one tap by 2 M10s, like, immediately. And not the APCR overrides, at max range, so it does happen. It does happen. I feel for Bexus here. That's kind of bull. That should not be happening. I mean, the odds were definitely in his favor there, and I still lost it. Saperi Rocks here, as I said, a good choice here. They will hold up at range, at least to some extent, and they can still do the CQC. 81 with mortar though is helping, and that's a little bit of a problem. Looks like the Brandenburg here got out. Saperi Rocks in a good position, though. Hold ground though, I guess... No, actually not that good of a position because the Brandenburg will just shred that. T-34 has to be careful as a Panzerschreck moving in. But it doesn't look super good for Bexus at the moment. He should be trying to get this flag back. I mean, the front line tells him that it's not super close here, so there might be an angle to get back in here. And but of course, he's at an income disadvantage. It's not very easy for him. Pushing down here at this point is very difficult. You probably have to establish positions here first and then try to move back in. It's bringing 82mm mortar now to soften up the defense here. That's definitely very good. ISU 152 also getting ready. Yeah, that's actually a good angle. And then we have the P3 and the Yak going after this, but the SKZ-7 is very close now, so he might lose one of these planes for that push. No? Are they going to get out? They do. There's an F-22 going after the SKZ. It is within the radio range, so if the SKZ doesn't move, it might actually go down. That would be a big loss for Royal Musketeer. Very nice there for by Bexus. And it's an important thing to keep in mind. It's definitely worth going after SKZ-7s, even if they're mobile, if you see that your opponent doesn't move them. Oh, nice play here by Royal, trying to pin that 37mm, but unfortunately he was a little bit too early with his Focke-Wulf. You need to first let your artillery fire for a bit before you can actually do that, so it looks like the 75mm spam has now started. These things are not super accurate, but if you spam them around, they can do the work. Still 14-10. I mean, Royal is pushing here, so that might give him the 15 that he probably needs as the Maverick player. Otherwise, things are kind of off limit. He could definitely, with all the tools that he has available to him. Oh, he brought these with the Panzerschreck. Gonna be very honest here, terrible idea in my opinion. Panzerschrecks are just expensive then, so if you really need them, it is much harder to afford. These things are still 15 points, so basically it's not that expensive, but it basically still doubled the price of a Panzerschreck. Also, personally, this is more personal preference, but for me personally, I want my Panzerschreck to come in when I need it, so I want it in a fast transport, and this thing is not that fast, but it is a thing that you can do in some divisions right now, and I mean, Kessel definitely benefits from having some light armor that can deal with other light armor. Or just to bully other infantry divisions that can't deal well with light armor. We have an IS-2 now coming in. This is actually not the worst position. He can do some dominance here. And there's basically nothing that can kill that. He needs to be careful though, because as soon as you get closer up, there's like angles up here where Pack 40 could potentially, if the APCR get in a good position. It's a 9044 variant, so killing that is not going to be super easy. Now, Bexus, as I said, probably wants to establish a push here to push back. And yeah, I mean, he will have to fight over this, but he could still try to, once he grabs this, try to push into this flag as well. But, no, actually not. It's covered off by this. Now, Royal Musketeer could also start pushing here and grab this flag by this. I think it is very doable. He just needs to divert his artillery here. I mean, it's not hard to predict that these three buildings here is where infantry units are. So you can just go after that. Yak 1 trying to get in. Brandenburger here getting pinned. So Paradox might be able to do the trick there. F-22 failed to kill the SKF 71, but it's going after the Brandenburger, so it should be able to do some work. Oh, Yak 1 goes down. That hurts. We are now into C phase though. But we should not get fooled by this. This is the point where Maverick is the most dangerous, as the full weight of its income advantage is there now, and as soon as these units have arrived at the front line, Royal Musketeer has reached his power spike. But of course, things only get better here for Bexus, but he doesn't have a long time to get back, because 11 minutes and he is out of the game. So yeah, he will have to hurry up. But it looks like this flag is close to being grabbed. This flag here could potentially be grabbed soon as well, and the push here is already forming. But at the same time, this flag might not be holding forever. The IS-2 is in a very dangerous position. The 88 could push forward and get a side shot. Same for the Martyr, actually. But it looks like Royal Musketeer did not pay attention on this, and the IS-1 is now angled correctly. And let's look at the side armor. It is 110 millimeters. So the 88 and the Martyr could definitely have penned that if they had pushed forward. That would have been a big loss for Bexus. I think that would have been the breaking point here. So yeah, I think that would have definitely lost him the game then and there. And now we're gonna get to see how things go on. So maybe things are not lost yet. The Wolf Pack is in, going after the Zaperi Rocks. IS-1, no IS-1, IS-2 just cleaning up here. Did the Marder just go down? I think it did. Yeah, it did. 88 will have no chance against the IS-2. It can't pen it. It has 160 millimeters of pen. This thing has 180 millimeters of armor. Even if it was the 160 millimeter IS-2, the 88 would not do it at that range. Not at all. So Pararox here preparing for another push. And it will run out of HE shells soon though, so probably need an IC-152 to support that as well. And then that, but the problem is this combo is going to be so expensive. But it will do the work, can tell you that much. You might be able to kill off the 88 though, and once that's done, a lot of options are open here once again. It should not be taking damage. Oops, don't know what happened there. Well, it might take damage from the armor then, but yeah, it's just bouncing. It's getting stressed out though because of all the everything that's fired at it. But yeah, put an IC-152 there as well. I know it's expensive, and then you will be able to clean house here. Or just resupply. It's going to take a while to kill the 88 off, but it's still going to be possible. Also, this push here could potentially, these units here could potentially move forward, and that push could also threaten the 88 job done as well. Stu-42 now in a weird little spot. The heat shell, oh yeah, only does 100 millimeters. If it gets a sideshot, it might be able to kill the IS-2. I'm not sure if that's what it's going for, or if it just wants support. 59 for Royal Musketeer though, so we have that past 20-minute power spike here. IC-152 is here up close. Interesting choice, but I mean, it's uncontested, looks like. Never mind, Pack 40 is getting in there, and within APCR range too, so that should be able to make quick work of the IC-152. Unless the IC-152 lands a lucky good hit, and the Pack 40 misses once or twice, so it's definitely not out of the... It's definitely thinkable. Oh, but IS-2 is out of HE. Pushing forward again, but I can't do much. The 88 is still firing. It's gonna run out of AP though, so I guess overall it's a smart play bringing the planes out to keep it busy, but the IS-2 does not get to profit from it. I don't think it will be able to stack the Yak 1B. There we go. Fallback might not save it. It does not. Stu-42 getting into a dangerous position here. Might actually be able to kill the 37mm, which would be huge. Considering that Royal has been putting a lot of effort into using his Focke-Wulf. You do have a Bofus now coming in as well, so he's very much afraid of that airspam. We do have an 88 overlooking the position here as well, but also it's not pushed forward. You have another Bofus here. But with the infantry all after no range, so the Pack 40 and the Kelly here will be able to do some work. So Kelly not that good, but it will be good enough. After we'll shred this one here though. SU-76 opening up. Pack 40 will return fire. Transmission damage, well, not that big of a deal. APCR getting wasted. Second one does the damage, but not enough. Focke-Wulf coming in for the AFTOs. SU-76 goes down, might take the Pack 40 with it though. I'm not sure if the damage is enough. It is not. Pack 40 barely survives after here. We'll be able to waste that Sekeli. 14-10, 3 minutes and 58 seconds. Oh no! Oh, we're back to 14-10. That's pretty nerve-wracking for Bexus, but he still needs to bring it to 12-12 before those, depending on what income, 1.5 roughly or 3.5 minutes run out. So he will have to put in some work. And the problem is, it's going to be a tough one to... Like, he's down so many tickets. So even if he manages to stabilize, how is he gonna equalize? I mean, it is possible, but it is going to be so much work. Still 59. Oh. Whew. Yeah, that's just going to be rough. He could push forward here and grab this flag if there's a pair of rocks. There's some units here. Oh, it looks like the IC-152 died to the Pack 40. That's very unfortunate for Bexus. That's an expensive loss. IS-2 here doing some infantry support. Not ideal with just the Dushka. I mean, it works, it looks like. But I wouldn't call this ideal. SIS-2 finished the Stu-42. Gavadias are coming in to re-grab that flag. Panzergren against 2 Gavadias should probably lose. And the Brandenburger Pier, which would have been super dangerous here, has been taken care of. Mortar still constantly firing. I think if Bexus at some point managed to get out some 122s, he could start counter-battering this, because they have not been moving. Again, it is not the ideal thing to... Well, this should definitely seal the deal here. But that's only one flag, he needs another one. But I'm not a huge fan of counter-battering movable artillery pieces, but if your opponent just does not care and not move them, sometimes it can work really nicely. Yak 1 goes down as the AA is very strong. With an 88, we have an SK-7-1, we have a Bofus here, another SK-7-1. Oh, M70 making a ballsy push here. It was just recon there, gonna grab the flag. Oh, 1 minute left. Is he going to be able to do it? Panzergun might get the Panzerfaust off. Superior Rocks will go down in the transport. No! Why? I don't want to load in time though. Oh, IC-152 gets involved. Absolutely shreds that. That's another flag secure. That's 12-12. Things are stabilized. But this pocket here will collapse, so he needs to reconnect very quickly or find another flag. Otherwise, it's going to be back to a 13-11, which is all that Royal Musketeer needs at this point. At this point, if I was him, I would probably just try to push forward for any flag, really, and hope for it. Like, he could still try to get that. All he would have needed to do a long time ago was use the 81 mortars to clear that out, or a plane, for that matter. So the suit is moving in the right spot. 13-11 again, though, and this was about to collapse. So no, it's still 13-11. You grabbed another flag. Which one? You grabbed this one now. 12-12 again. I think this area might be where it's decided. No, it's this area? This area? Hard to predict. It looks like Royal Musketeer getting. I do think his 81 mortars have been going after the wrong targets for a bit. Like, more direct support in this area might have done it. Like, even that blob here, but unfortunately it doesn't look super well. Peroxy won the engagement, so far still 12-12. Oh, Pack 40 finds a side shot on the IS-2. Did he get a pen? So far it looks like it's bouncing. I don't know why it's not locking onto it. No, it does not look damaged. An IS-2 can't shoot back because it's out of AG. F-22 is opening up. Within radio or not? Within radio, barely. Its own radio, actually. I think this thing should be resupplied, and then that should do the trick. Oh, Flamer might get spotted out here. If this thing can kill off that Flamer, the Panzergun here, with the distance here, might not work out anymore. It's possible that the flag will not flip. The Gavadi here, saving the day, I think. T-34 helping as well. So this flag remains with Bexus for the time being. And a push here by the Brandenburger leader. Going actually surprised. Wait, what's the loadout on this? Oh, okay, yeah, that should definitely win against Gavardia close. P3 is not going to get in. I might actually die in return. Get some bursts off by one SKF set by a Bofus and then by another SKF set. Oh no, by that Bofus, not the SKF set. The SKF set is in the weird spot where he can't see much. Or more units signing the transport. No, why? So that's use on the run from the Stück. Where you probably need to, I don't know, play catch around this forest part. If it goes down here, it will get spotted out and die. Oh, Stück lost light. Is it suffering from hill pressure? It might be. Come on! Come on! Run! 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 Oh, Stück goes down to the IC-1. Oh, that's a really ballsy upgrade. I mean, at that range, no, the SU goes down. Up at this range, Stück will definitely pen. Oh, SU-76 might also have done it. That's much more likely. L2 is in as well for some good support. Looks like the push here by the Superior Rocks and the tank was dismantled. So that flag might realistically be endangered. Although that armor blob here is going to make it really difficult. This thing has AT, only 6 meters of pen, which is good against light armor, not so good against an IS-2. Who still doesn't have any AG, so it's still only firing its machine guns, which is a big limitation. 40 mil here doing some anti-infantry duty, more tanks coming in. And the problem is going to be Bexus will run out of tanks at some point in the probably near future. I feel like he's used quite a few of them. Never mind, more coming in. They might still have enough, because the problem is as soon as his tanks are gone, he doesn't have much pushing power. Having only an IS-2 to support your push then is not ideal. Let's put it at that. Another Stu-42 coming in. Focke-Wulf as well. Remember, all that Bexus needs is a 15-9 for about 1 minute, probably less at this point. So if he can get that, 13-11 for Bexus now though, if he can get that at any point, it's game over for Bexus. The problem for Bexus is Kessel is not that bad for defense. As long as you're not getting light armor spammed, Kessel can dig in well and he can hold. These units are going to be a tough nut to crack, especially for the AFTOs. right? Aftos will lose against the Brandenburg because the Brandenburg just tosses the TNT. The After can't do anything against that. Gavadia's in the wrong spot. It needs to be careful. These two at that range might get wasted by these units. Another 50 mil coming in. Push here has been forced off. CKF 251/9 something? Or just 9? Just 9. Trying to go after T-34 goes down though in the attempt. T-34E is coming in to deal with the infantry. 75 mil also shouldn't be able to do it. Mortar is silent, but I don't know what that after is doing here. Enough more Brandenburg coming in to hold ground here. Aftos, I'm not sure if it's going to win against the Brandenburg leader. This thing is double star. MP40s are not that, 44s are not that good. No, the after wins. Okay. I was gonna correct that statement, and I would have been right in doing so. If the leader would have been able to catch the after out of position here, then that would have been a whole different. Oh, Brandenburg kills the 37 mil. Yikes, that's gonna hurt. So that's you now coming in though. The problem is there's a Stu 42 here. If it wasn't for that, this thing would have been absolutely backbreaking here, dealing with basically nothing here can deal with that effectively. The 88 here has been loaded up, but is not being moved. Focke-Wulf now coming in, of course, because there's no AA. P3 is coming in. Oh no, it's still stopped by what? This one. Nice. Stu 42 goes down. Sadas, you is still alive. Brandenburg pushing forward, Brandenburg pushing forward. This one might get spotted by the IC-152. That should be able to waste that completely. Brandenburg might be able to throw grenades on top of the SC-76 since it is open top. Yeah, Brandenburg here gets stopped in his tracks. 1410 for Bexus now, as he grabs this flag, and that one, although that one can be fixed, Brandenburg is coming in to do just that. Push here could be happening, but Bexus is waiting for infantry here. He's getting kind of stuck on a lot of infantry here at the moment. It's not looking too bad. He needs some CQC to dig out the Brandenburg leader there. Although that one is running very low. Ah, no. Still has some ammo in the MP44s. The MP40 not, though. After is now coming in to try and grab this. SU-76, unless he gets hill pressure, might be able to kill the SCK-1, but the Stück 3 has something to say in that as well. SU-76, look at how fast it fires. Oh, he was damaged. Stück 3 gets a kill. That's still anyone's game. Bexus needs a 15-9 though if he wants to be able to win that. But time is of course in his favor when it comes to income, but he needs to make things happen relatively quickly. He wants a realistic chance, and Royal Musketeer is holding on. And I mean, the truth is, Royal Musketeer needs a lead is probably not really possible anymore at this point, a flag lead. But, you know, it might still be happening. He doesn't need it for long, and he just needs to hold on and make it as hard as possible for Bexus to grab any flags, and that's still very much possible. Let's see, down south, armor push is happening. Pack 40 here in position. That could potentially be problematic. Up north, after keeping that flag, IC-152 is a CQC tool now, I guess. Brandenburg will eventually kill it with the grenade. Two F-those versus Brandenburg, those should win. One would think. One of them is going to get killed, that's for sure. But I mean, look at how fast Brandenburg usually, how fast afters usually kill or pin things, and how long it took this time. Absolutely disgusting, that thing. SIS-2 versus Stück 3. It's actually taking a while. T-34 here. Oh, that's dangerous. The 40 mil. Once it hits its heat shell, that's goodbye for the T-34. It needs some support by infantry or support weapon. Looks like the close range as ISU-152 managed to do the work. SIS-2 might be able. No, it is in cover. No side shots there. Should get 3 coming in. That's very dangerous. I mean, that's a cheap unit to deal with an ISU-152 there. So. If that thing dies, that's not ideal. Infantry here did go down, back to 12-12. Can Royal Musketeer make it? Can he grab another flag? That would be absolutely amazing. Is there any flag grabbable? If he moves that forward just a little bit up here, he will get that flag for free for a bit. It's not long, but he doesn't need it for long. Just for a bit. just for a bit. In here, well, Brandenburg might still be able to grab that. He needs a Panzerfaust coming with that though. Focke-Wulf coming in to clear that out. That's definitely smart. And now the Brandenburg can move in and surrender all of these. It's not doing it though. The afters might run into it. No, they do not. But I mean, truthfully, even if Royal Musketeer doesn't get a lead, it being 12-12 and we are approaching 40 minutes is all he needs. That's going to be able... Oh, Pack 40 might get Siege on the IS-2 here. That would be absolutely backbreaking. Is it suffering from hill pressure? What's going on? No, maybe? Not sure. Focke-Wulf going for the after, but Gavardis are already coming in to grab the flag here. That should be the end of that Pack 40. Infantry here is needed as well though. No, with the IC-152 being here, these would now actually need to cross like up to here at least to grab that flag, so it's not that easy anymore. Would have been possible. Pack 40 here facing, what's the T-34 probably? IC-152 might be able to wipe that out. No, it's going after the IS-2. I mean, it is within APCR range, so it could technically pen it. Not going to be easy at that range though. The IS-152 says no. Mortars might also be able to do the job. Leader here finally gets killed off. Gavard grabbed that flag here, and this flag is grabbed too, so that's 14-10. Brandenburger coming in just to hold ground, I assume. An MG42 coming in as well. I mean, they won't hold up against that armor, but I don't think Bexus should be pushing here. Yes, cutting off reinforcement road is great, but you need flags. But now that endangers this flag too. And all of this flank is basically open. There's nothing here by Royal Musketeer. All that Bexus needs to do, and he probably really needs to start doing that, is keep moving stuff forward. He's still not very strong on the front line, so Royal Musketeer has traded quite well against him. But at this point, Bexus should be starting to be able to do just that. And he should do it, if he wants to have any chance at winning this. Brandenburg coming in as sad as you will. We'll just absolutely shred those. Look at that. Ah, 450 cals, the ultimate power of Doom against any infantry. IC-152, oh, he's still alive. T-34 is going to get killed here by the Stück 3F8, I would assume. Should be. No, misses. T-34 gets within cover. Ooh. So Kelly here, once that dies, that's 2 flags gone for Royal Musketeer. Bexus will be in a very good spot there. He has to be careful. Oh, Panzerschreck goes down. That's what would have killed that T-34. Might kill the Brandenburger too. No, it's gonna get without. It's gonna leave line of sight. No. IS-2 coming in. I think this is not the place to bring it. Not because, first of all, I don't think the IS-2 is the tool of choice here in general, but also there's already one here that's an IC-152 here. You don't need another big tool here. You need it somewhere else where you can actually dominate. You need it like up here where you can lock down that area, or in here. It's still, if you want to bring it, I'm not saying that you should, but if you want to bring it, you want to bring it in one of these areas, even up here where there's not much armor yet to help. This is where you want to bring it, but not to the place where you have all the armor that you need. I know this is where it makes, where you can take most advantage of the range, but you should probably also resupply this first. Stück 3 F8 coming in as well. IL-2 might be able to... Not going to get the Focke-Wulf, but since it's coming in anyway, I might be able to deal with that. Another IS-2 coming in, so I guess Bexus is out of other tanks, which is a massive issue. But this one is finally coming in a different region. IC-152 will against wipe the Brandenburger there. The problem is going to be the Stück F3 up close here is going to be problematic, to say the least. Now the Brandenburger pushing forward. 14-10 for Bexus once again. He really needs that 15-9, and he needs more than that now, I think. Yeah, he needs more than that. It's time for an 18-6, really. He needs that. So he should start pushing that. Bromberger here was able to just hold things for long enough. That's a really nice play there. Because once again, everything here is unprotected. Everything here could just collapse. Swing, like if these units would swing up here, these two flags would be threatened very soon and would be about to fall. And things go very, very quickly with an 18-6, but it needs to happen ASAP. Strict F3 did go down, ISU 152. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to do that. Fat fingered. It's gonna kill that. Panzerschreck is in position. T-34 here is living dangerous. Infantry needs to come in, but it's possible that Royal Musketeer that Bexus might be running low in infantry. Let's bring more AA, which, to be honest, at this point, I would just say screw the AA. I would just buy everything to push. Unique round now. If you just overwhelm your opponent, there's no AA in the game that can, you know, change things around there. Strafniki coming to hold that flag just in time. I feel like IS-2 would be able to seal the deal here, but it needs to get in there. T-34 just holds just short of being able to kill all that support weapons and grab that flag. Oh, that's so frustrating. As he said, everyone here is still alive. T-34 here needs to be careful, but Panzerschreck also needs to be careful as it currently is not in range and T-34 might spot it. More Panzergrens coming in. 16-8 for Bexus. He needs the 18-6. He needs it now. 6 minutes left in the game. A little bit less actually. 9 minutes on the clock. Come on. I'm not actually having favorites in this game, but like it is such a comeback story. I'm rooting for the balanced player now a little bit, because if he can do that, that would be such a sick victory. ISU 152, no, just kill that Stug F3. Oh, that flag is grabbed, this one as well. 17-7, one flag short, one flag short. Now it's time to Q move. There's still units here that have not engaged anything yet. Just Q move. I want to see miracles happening. P3 coming in once again. Finally, it's happening, but I might be too late. Might be just too late. Now artillery coming in as well. That, once again, at this point, artillery is not what you need, unless you have no other tools available to you anyway, but now is not the time. I guess he wants to secure this off. Yeah, it is an aggressive artillery piece. It's a 2K tool. It's a direct fire tool. So that's fair then. And then this push could be further developed. Why are these sitting back here? This one should be moving forward. That should be moving forward. Oh. Finally, that should have happened so long ago. T-34 could also have done that. Finally we see the Q move. IS-2 just bouncing. Flak 88 should not have a chance of. Come on. Okay, okay, it was closer than 1500 meters, so actually, never mind. That is possible, but still very unlikely, so that's pretty crazy actually. Still 17-7. Less than 4 minutes. P3 still going after that 88. It's not going to work. You just need to push forward. There we go. 18-6. 3 minutes and 53 seconds. Oh, that might be enough. He just needs to hold that now. He needs to hold that. If he can hold that, he will win. Because I think he... Yeah, it's close, but I think he has a little bit more than a minute left on the clock. So that should just be enough. Now he just needs to make sure that he doesn't lose that. And he should be safe. More infantry coming in, another IS-2 coming in. So yeah, these things still exist. Mortar here still sitting there, not doing much. Oh, but this counter push could be very, very dangerous. It needs to be reinforced right now. Not enough units are following up in general. Ooh, that's going to be a super close one. The Brandenburger might be able to stop that. I really say, if the attack move had happened earlier, yeah, and it's not looking very good for Bexus now. I don't think he can manage to pull it off at this point. Maybe if he grabs that one. So Kelly will not be able to hold all of that off. The 88 will not be able to kill all of that. If they get in there now, all he needs to do is grab that flag, or needs another one now. That's not ideal. 18-6 again, but I might be too late. It's going to be super close. It's going to be super close. Up here, Strafniki, if he managed to kill that Panzerschreck, things should be secured. Although that 2v1 here would be very dangerous. The Strafniki could kill the SDKF sensor. If he pushes forward, I might be able to do it. T-34 against Stug at this range. T-34 should be able to pen, but it bounces. Oh, and the Stug gets a kill. So unfortunate. 17-7 again. No! No! Which flag is lost? Oh, this flag would be so easy to have. 18-6 again. 2 minutes 27. And less than 2 minutes left. That's a super close game. Oh, the 122 actually getting to do some close range support, or is it? Yeah, no, it's using the AP against the Stug 4. Oh, it was a Stug 4. That's why I didn't pen that easily. IS2 missing. Not a can't miss, won't miss, baby. Actually, if you go halfway through, it would be at this point, so it would not be enough. It would not be enough. It will not be that close. No, no. Bring the hold on. Is 24 a thing as well? Don't think so. Or is it? No, you will need 3 more. Right. It's gonna be so close. It's gonna be so close. Actually, did it just speed up? Is there another speed up for 9.5? It just felt like that. Oh, Brandenburg is still doing the work after S2 trying to deal with it. Oh no, but it's 15 seconds left. I don't think. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. It's just not going to be enough. Such a good fight by Bexus though. What a comeback! What a comeback! So close. He was this close to greatness, but unfortunately for him, Royal Musketeer takes the win. Massive cheese to both players. That was a great game. What a spectacle! I still think if Bexus had started just pushing a little bit earlier, he might have been able to do it. But unfortunately, he did. And we look at the trades; they were really close, which is not a good sign for balance, to be honest. But you could definitely see that on the map as well. So 4,880 for Bexus to 4,445 for Royal Musketeer. Whew. Now, a quick update that I forgot to mention when I was recording the cast. The second game was actually won by Royal Musketeer 2, which means that he successfully won this quarterfinal and he will continue on into the semifinals. So, congratulations to Royal Musketeers, and of course, well played to Bexus for his good effort. Let's look at the chronology. I mean, yeah, he was shredding right from the start. I mean, that's the problem, right? If the infantry of Kessel is just superior in any way. Like Soviets are known for their good CQC, but against Kessel, that's no match. And he just lost because of that. And the one plane here, just killing the 50mm mortar, really sealed the deal on the northern part of the map. This one was kind of redundant, in my opinion. Then there were some pushbacks and some kills. And then, oh, holy moly, yeah, with the pure dominance of the income advantage, look at him go for a little bit, and then things start turning, but there's still a lot of kills here by Royal, which, I mean, he must have gotten to that many kills somehow. So we have to remember that everything that Royal kills is not necessarily expensive, whereas everything that Bex has killed, of course, is an expensive unit. Not as a Kelly, but it's still 25 points. It's not exactly cheap either. But yeah, let's look at the kills. 45 mil doing 45 mil things. Sis2 doing good work. Yak 1 actually paid off, it looks like. This thing, I mean, killing a Brandenburg pin and a Brandenburg pays for itself actually as well. The IS2 did some work. Probably didn't pay off, but I mean, being unkillable, I think paid, like, it has to count as well for part of what it achieved in that game. IC 152, yeah, it does what the IC 152s do. Not a T-34, look at this, we can go. Kill some AT weapons too. A lot of armor kills, surprisingly. Or unsurprisingly, because it's against Kessel. Focke-Wulf, look at this, we go. Did a lot of damage, Brandenburger PO, a lot of damage too. That was to be expected. Brandenburger as well. The mortars did some work, but actually a little bit underwhelming, I feel like, for how long they have been there. Pack 40, getting some good kills too. Brandenburg, unsurprisingly. So Kelly, that is more surprising. Big 3 here. Ooh, I also was doing quite a bit of damage. More, I mean, Brandenburgs are just absolutely disgusting. And the 88 here, look at that thing go. I mean, that's less surprising. This, I don't know, a little bit unlucky. But yeah, great game to both players. Hope you all enjoyed it as well. Have a great day and see you next time.